Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. This is day 3 and this will be the last video added to the Moving with Orchids playlist because quite honestly everything is moved now, and although this setup is not right, it's not far off. Well, that's the way I'm going to look at it anyway. Just have a look round, see what I've done. We've got a dendrobium shelf, top shelf now. And they're all together. Now that's a bit of a mix. The Noblies are in there, the black hair types are in there, my only antelope types in there, my Kingianum type, Delicatum's in there. So it's a mix, but they're positioned in such a way that the ones that need the best light are closest to the glass. And then we've got a few oddities down here. Got another dendrobium shelf here. This is mainly the Latoria types, less light, so below. Good light orchids up there and biggies, so that's 4 biggies taking up that whole shelf, but there's still room for small things here. And you can see that's still light. It's not getting shaded from the other plants because the light's coming in from all directions. A few oddities up there. Those are my Miltoniopsis, a little bit of shade for them, but I'm going to try them in brighter light. That's all the Cattleyas up there, or Cattleya types. This is an assortment, Oncidium types mainly. And then over here we've got the cooler, shadier ones with the top shelf not being used. So this bottom shelf, everything's going to move up one. I'm going to try the Masdevallias on this top shelf. That's good light. And then the Restrepias below. I'm just going to move everything up one. I haven't done it yet because I need to go out now. I've got stuff to do. We had an accident this morning. This wired rack came undone from the bar. Basically, well, it was the other way around. It just keeled over. Luckily, it landed on there. And it threw all the mounts off all over the place, and the only damage I can find is one more sweet sugar bloom got whacked. I was so lucky to get away with that. I think all of the twinkle spikes made it. So on this rack over here, this is an assortment, but again I've got the higher, lighter resting types up the top, things like the Jenkinsii, various. There's some Noblies on mounts there up the top. I've just watered the Vandas. That's not their position, they're just down there so that they drip on the moss trays. And then on here we've got again higher light Tolumnias grouped together there, some higher light ones coming down to lower light ones, Latoria type here, my Bulbophyllum. And then here, this is my flowering wall. So these are either in flower or about to be, or they need to go on here because there isn't anywhere else. So there's some Cattleya types up the top, highlight again, and then I've got my in bloom Tolumnia, the Cernua, and then all the twinkles, and this thing, whatever it is, when it opens we'll find out, but it's definitely going to be yellow. I got a feeling that might be one of the yellow species possibly that I've already got. And the Rhenantheras are just there dripping on the moss because they've just been watered as well. And then over here we've got our everything in bloom or about to be. So nice splash of colour looking out from the doors. Got the Thailand black there. This will be going over soon, this tiger tail. And then this just labelled Cambria when I got it. Don't care. Don't care what it's called, we're looking at what it is. And nice to see over here, this tiny little new Zygopetalum growth has got 2 spikes. I don't think there'll be a huge number of blooms on there, but 2 spikes on that growth. So yeah, that's Derek's plants there. I got some of these yesterday. I didn't get the larger ones because of the price. I didn't like the price of these. They're actually made from bamboo fibre. So they're compostable, but they've only got a 5-year life, so they're not going to last forever. But then they're not damaging the planet, and they're used from what is effectively a waste product. So very eco-friendly, but not on my pocket. very unfriendly on my pocket. So what I've done is I've gone on eBay and ordered some more trays, basically, because there's pots now without trays. What I did was the ones that I watered yesterday, I took some of those pots off because they've finished dribbling now, and used them for the ones I watered today, which was the last of the watering today. So everything's had a drink. It's not all in its final place, definitely not. And these racks are top heavy. Now I might rethink them, because the light's so even in here, it's not really much brighter there than it is there. But these would be a lot safer if the strapped on racks came down. Okay, they'll go down a bit lower, but I think they'd be a lot more stable. I'll see how they go. But bearing in mind, they're going to get wheeled around relatively frequently. Not so much this time of year, but they're going to get wheeled around a fair bit. You know, and okay, I can be very careful. But you know what's going to happen? One day I'm just going to be in a hurry and I'll pull it at an angle and the whole thing's going to go over. So I need to get it as stable as possible. I don't know whose idea it was, but somebody said, why don't you put your moss trays on those bars at the bottom for a bit of weight and stability? Yes, it makes them a little bit more stable with some weight on the bottom, but they're still not stable. They're still top heavy and have a tendency to sway. They're not as strong as I was sort of expecting, really. They're good enough for now. Maybe I'll do something different in a year or so, but they'll do for now. I can't go spending lots of money at the moment. We've spent rather a lot getting this lot and getting me moved and paying for people to help move in. I'm now paying for 2 lots of bills, and you know, I'll get that back, but you know, it's anyway, so I've got things to do now. I'm going to go take Ken's crates back. He's in a bit of a pickle because his other half got tested positive on Monday, and they're supposed to be going skiing this Saturday. Well, what do? He's got to isolate with her. They live in the same house, obviously, and it's supposed to be 7 days, and they're supposed to be flying out on Saturday for their skiing holiday. So I'm not going to mention it, because if they just can't go and the whole lot's going to be cancelled, they're not going to be happy about it. Ken loves his skiing holidays. So yeah, so I'll take the crates back. All the cardboard boxes and stuff are all going to go around the tip. They get recycled. And I've still got some electrical stuff, the old fans and the broken subwoofer. I can call in the electrical shop that allows you to recycle things. Anything electrical, basically anything with a plug on, they will recycle, and it's a free service. So that'll get all my rubbish out of the way, clear the carport out, and we'll call that done. At the end of today, I think I can class myself as moved, and the grow room is set up. As I said, it's going to take a while before every plant has its spot and becomes Sheldon. That's my spot. You're in my spot. But it's roughly right now. I won't be changing a huge amount. But if I see things starting to suffer a bit because the light's a bit bright for them, then they can come somewhere else. But yeah, I'm definitely going to move everything up one. That'll save me bending for a start. And we'll try Masdevallias with more light. And what I might do with the Restrepias is spread them around on those 2 shelves to try and gain more light. But I'll have a think about it. You noticed I put that there. That's obviously not permanent because it's blocking the door. But I'm not going to be using that door until we get much better weather. Yeah? And then I'll get the door fixed so that it opens and closes properly, and obviously I'll need access. But at the moment the door's shut and it's staying shut, and wheeling these around is a lot easier without that in the way. So that's how it's going to go at the moment. Yeah, I'm happy with that at the moment. So yeah, that's the end of day 3, or the end of filming on day 3. It's actually not even 11 o'clock yet. Somebody got woken up early by our distressed cat yowling. He's just not happy. But no, we're working on it, you know. I mean, they sleep quite a bit from their breakfast through to sort of, I'd say mid-morning, they're around, and then they go and settle down for most of the rest of the day. So it means it's a good time for me to go out, because they don't know I'm not here then. And then when they decide to get up again and come down and say hello, I'm here, and it's as though I've never been away, which is what I want them to feel. They've had so much of me being gone, strangers coming in the house, furniture moving, furniture suddenly disappearing. You know, it's been quite a stressful thing for them. Well, and me, come to think of it. But with humans, we understand. We're far better equipped to just say, well, that's how it is. That's how it's got to be. So just put up with it. I'm not one of these that, you know, oh, I'll have to go and chat to somebody. I need help. I'm stressed out. I'm one of those who just give somebody a shake and say, oh, for goodness sake, get a grip. Sort yourself out. But yeah, we're all different. So and yeah, I will leave it at that with that little splash of colour, because that certainly is a very, very attractive Oncidium type. As I said, when I spotted that, that was one of those, I'm having it. As was that. As was that. So a few things in bloom. To say that most of the twinkles will be out soon. They're not all out yet. Tiny Twinkle, this was the most advanced. The others will follow around. The Red Fantasy, this looks like it's going to be the cinnamon one. And I say there's a yellow one somewhere. If that's the cinnamon one, then that must be the cross. That's actually got a proper name. It's a twinkle crossback with something or other. It's certainly not the yellow one, is it? Which must mean this must be the yellow one. We shall see. Time will tell. And yeah, the idea is, it's not in its right place yet, but the idea is that one can move out a bit. But I don't really want stuff in the line of fire of the heater if I can help it. So may have to stay there. But I can still see it through the glass. So right, that'll do for today. And thanks for all the support with all of this moving. Getting up in the morning and not necessarily looking forward to the day ahead, and all the sort of cheery comments has been very nice. It's been great. As I say, first thing in the morning I do my comments. There have been lots of them. My view counts are high, so obviously the interest was there. It was well worth filming these things. And as I said, end of an era and end of a playlist. See you next time.